CBS Sports presents the Road to the Final Four, coming to you today with second-round action from Sacramento, California. From the Midwest bracket, the 7th seed, Wake Forest, taking on the number 2 seed, Oregon. Take a look at the Midwest bracket right now, and the action from Sacramento, California. From Dallas tomorrow, it'll be 6 seed Texas against number 3 seed Mississippi State. And welcome everybody, Ian Eagle along with Jim Spidarkle here at Arco Arena. Some good activity in the first round. We're expecting the same here in the second round from Arco, Oregon, and Wake Forest. Oregon's first win in the NCAA tournament in 42 years. But they did come out a little bit flat, maybe some first round jitters against Montana. Effort's going to have to be a little bit better against this Wake Forest team.
It will, Ian. And talking with Ernie Kemp before the basketball game, he wants to go up and down the floor and be selective with it. But Freddie Jones is a guy he really wants to get more of an impact player, especially on the wing. Now, he'd love to get him out in the open floor like this, but I don't think Wake Forest wants to turn this into a run-and-gun type game. Luke Jackson on the left, Luke Ridenour on the right. Those are the two guys who bring it all together, though, for this team in Oregon in terms of controlling the tempo for them.
For Wake Forest, they can't score among the best scoring teams in the nation, but maybe the pace is going to be a little bit different. Competitive first-round game against Pepperdine. Did they ever execute down the stretch? Scoring on their last 7 possessions. Skip Prosser very happy with the way things ended.
Well, that's because they're an experienced basketball team, and for them to really do well this afternoon, Darius Sangaila has to play well. Now, normally they like to establish him right down on the blocks like you see right here. Keep in mind, though, that they may have to step him away because this is a rugged, big team that Oregon will pose up front. Watch him to step away and shoot that little 10-footer.
And there is Skip Prosser, his first season as the head coach of the Demon Deacons, the number 7 seed here in the Midwest. And the starting 5 that he will put on the floor, all seniors. Sangaila, Scott up front. No Josh Howard in the starting lineup. That means Urban Murray gets the start in the 3-guard set. Dawson had 18 points in the first-round win. And the point guard, Broderick Hicks. Ernie Kent, Pac-10 Coach of the Year. What a season the Ducks had. 16-0 at home, 14-4 in conference, and 24-8 overall. Robert Johnson coming off a career-high effort with 15 points in the first round, along with Christopherson up front. There's Jackson, Jones, and Ridenour. A lot of weapons at the disposal of Ernie Kent at that guard position. And the officials this afternoon, Edward Corbett, Ed Hightower, and Mike Thibodeau. Wake Forest and Oregon. NCAA tournament note, 2 of the 8 teams in the very first NCAA tournament back in 1939. Ultimately, the championship won by the Ducks, their only title in the school's history.
I think there are early some keys that you have to watch out for here. When you look at Wake Forest team versus Oregon, the big fella right there, Christopherson for Oregon, a big, strong guy in the middle at 7'2", 300 pounds. He will not probably guard Sangaila matched up man-to-man. Robert Johnson probably will guard him. But the key thing for Wake Forest is to make sure Sangaila does not pick up fouls, and the needless fouls, especially in the first 5 minutes of this basketball game.
Oregon, the 81-62 win over Montana on Thursday. Wake Forest, 83-74 over Pepperdine, and Oregon controls the tip. Here's Jackson. He scored 18 in that first-round victory. Jones had a quiet 60. And Ernie Kent does want to get him going early if possible.
In the matchup defensively, Sangaila's away from the big guy, even though they double-team him strong right there in the blocks.
Christopherson kicked it out. Jackson lines it up. Knocks it down for 3 to open play.
Ernie Kent also said that he wants to have a patient set on the half court, and that's exactly how they started that basketball game right there. A lot of touches. It went inside first, and then to the perimeter with a couple of passes.
It was Dawson who really stroked it in that first half in the victory over Pepperdine. And a whistle. Jones picking one up early.
Yep. I think they may have gone with the kick ball there, I think.
They did.
Yep.
3-0. Oregon leads it. Wake Forest with a new shot clock to work with. Here's Sangaila matched up with Johnson, as you mentioned. Inside, Scott. Point-blank range. He couldn't finish it. And the rebound taken by Jackson.
Pretty good post-up right there. Oh, baby.
Christopherson with a screen out front, and Broderick Hicks went down in a heap.
Boy, in a bundle. I mean, about a minute ago, I mentioned to you that at 7'2", 300 pounds, here comes the big screen, and he slides that left shoulder right in and down on Hicks. Watch the screen right in here. Yeah, he moves. It's a slight move, but as a big guy, regardless of your size, you cannot move at all. And so we'll take a minute to make sure Hicks is okay.
And he has drawn some blood on Broderick Hicks. Christopherson picking up a foul 59 seconds in. Now the physical nature up front of Oregon, something that Wake Forest is going to have to deal with, but Broderick Hicks out on the perimeter. Teron Downey, who has started as a freshman at point guard. That's one thing Skip Prosser told us. When Broderick Hicks was put into a substitute role, no complaints. He took it about as well as anybody would have accepted that kind of demotion. He didn't look at it that way.
No, he didn't, and that's the key thing right there. He didn't think of it as a demotion. He thought of it as a role change. So he basically said, hey, I'm a team player. Let's try to win some basketball games. Good attitude.
So the freshman Downey steps in. Here's Scott. Tried to kick it out, nobody home. And it picked up by Jones. Good balance defensively. They'll dump it inside. Double team on Christopherson.
Looks like every time he touches, they're going to run an extra guy. Sangaila's the guy running so far.
Cross court. Jackson pump fake. In a crowd. Turns it over. Sangaila gets it ahead for Downey. Sangaila lowering the shoulder, but the foul assessed on the interior as Johnson took that hit.
He sure did. He had pretty good activity going to his right. But watch, let's see if he's moving. When Sangaila comes down, yeah, see, Johnson never establishes position, albeit the shoulder did get tucked and did hit him right across the chest.
Well, the personal foul on Robert Johnson.
Wake looked to get Scott involved against Christopherson early down low. Here he is out front.
Murray swings it to Scott for two.
If you remember in the Montana game, Victor Venters came into the basketball game against Christopherson and went right at him for three good hoops. So I'm sure Skip Prosser was looking at that tape and said, hey, let's get it to him.
Christopherson off the dribble, nearly lost it. Leaning in, Johnson, and a foul.
And here's one of those fouls early on Sangaila that we talked about. He's moving around down low.
A little more information on the Oregon Ducks' 7th NCAA tournament appearance. We told you about the national championship in 1939. Look at the record against tournament teams. 10-3, and that's often how you can pull a frame of reference. How does a squad size up against other teams that qualify for the NCAA tournament? And obviously Ernie Kent's team, they fare fairly well.
Well, that they do, and I think both of these teams have played tough schedules this year, so they, from a physical standpoint, a mental standpoint, both of them should be ready to go. I mean, good quality competition. Johnson had his problems at the free throw line in the first half the other night, and he has just added to Oregon's lead. Ducks went to the line 40 times in that first game. If they get that number up that high, they should be in pretty good shape this afternoon. Here's Sangaila way outside. Shot clock at 17. He can handle the basketball for a big guy at 6'9" from out there. Downey stepping in for the injured Hicks. Spin move. Finish. Oh, Antoine Scott was soaring on the baseline. The lanes open up when you get the big guys moving quickly from side to side. And boy, did they ever get Christopherson moving away from the sideline and into the middle of the floor. Great attack. A baseline violation will give the ball back to Wake. Had a chance to take the lead. Off the pump fake from Dawson. Here's Scott. Straight away. That penetration the last time they had the basketball. So important from the perimeter. Ball movement. Dawson. And he can line it up. And he's got that quick release from way outside. So that's a difficult assignment to stop him from getting his shot off. Oregon with only one field goal attempt. 3 turnovers. Ridnour answers as it rims open from three-point territory. So important for Ridnour to make good decisions. That was a good one. Once again, when Oregon takes the basketball at half court, must be patient, work both sides of the floor. On a dump down. Scott challenging Christopherson. Trying to follow his own miss, and he doesn't get the roll. Sangaila inside, using his body, creating space, and a chance for 3. I like the decisions by Skip Prosser on the sidelines, using his smarts. Watch the breakdown now. Here's the big guy, steps across. Now watch how quickly he has to come back. He's not quick enough to stop Scott going down the other end. Ridnour comes down and answers, though. Real comfortable, real smooth down the other end. Bang, knocks one back from long range. Well,
We were wondering how long it would take to see Brian Hellquist. It didn't take that long. Right now, let's check in with Dwayne Ballin. Dwayne?
Ian Broderick Hicks suffered a cut on the inside of his mouth in that encounter with Chris Christopherson. He was tended to. There was bleeding, but he's okay and is expected back into the lineup shortly.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. We'll see how the Hicks injury affects the rotation as Songaila comes up short on that free throw. The foul was called on Johnson, and that is his second for Oregon.
Now with Hellquist, as you just mentioned, in the game, they get two big bruises.
Jones looking to take over, hanging in the air for the jump shot.
Right before the game, I asked Ernie Kent, you want Jones to get more involved on the wings and really get active. He says he has to this afternoon.
Dawson, screen and roll. Songaila with the left hand.
And going away from Christopherson, I'll tell you, Songaila going to the basket iron is very good at extending and using his left and right. But that time, very important to miss that charging opportunity.
Wake Forest up by 2. Jackson looking to break down the defense. High percentage shot. Christopherson with a slammer.
And Jackson's not going to give you too much flash out there. It's just going to be basic basketball, and I say that as a real compliment to him because he's the type of guy you can't take your eye off.
Songaila showing his range, a three-pointer, and he's got 7 early points.
He's going to bait Hellquist out to the floor just like that. If you think I'm going to go down there and bang with you at 275 pounds, you got another thing coming. Come on out and try to guard me.
All ACC performer Darius Songaila, 3 of 3 from the field. Just about 5 minutes gone by here in Sacramento. Jones squares. Off the rim and tracked down by Murray.
Good stay there by Murray. He went to the block out first and recognized the miss.
Murray thought he had an opening. Bounce pass. And a foul called as Scott again took it strong. He's been aggressive.
He sure has been. That's obviously Skip Ross's mission coming in this afternoon. Let's go after the big guys and let's challenge them whenever we can.
Team profile on Wake Forest, 17th NCAA tournament appearance. Of course, last year, the disappointment against Butler. They scored only 10 points in the first half, and they quickly erased that memory when they got off to a good start for Skip Prosser 2 days ago in the win over Pepperdine. Shot it well from long range, 8 of 16, 51% overall from the field in that game.
Right, and Skip, as we talked to him before the game also, was very happy with the way that game began and the way it ended with those 6 possessions at the end of the basketball game. They really came together as a group.
I want to remind our viewers that very soon they'll be leaving us, some of you will, for a few minutes to see another game of special interest in their local area. So take note of that in this 4-point game with 14:55 to go first half. Foul called and a chance for 3. Christopherson with a finish.
And once again, Wake Forest is deciding to go down and double team him, but Christopherson catches the basketball. Now where's the double team? Watch, it's a little late getting there and he goes away from it. May have ran over Scott a little bit, but the reach in with the hand, coming the right hand down, big strong guys can finish down low.
And a scrape by Antoine Scott. He picks up the personal. On the season, 56% at the line, and he gets a friendly roll. 5 points for the 7'2" center from Oregon and a timeout.
At Midas, all we think about is auto care. In fact, recently, I had an idea for a kids show, a way to get kids excited about our business. Wave hello to Mr. AC!
Hi, Mr. AC!
Mr. AC is very cold. The compressor pressurizes the... We're still tweaking it. Midas, we do that.
I hope he doesn't forget again.
Michelob Light. Anniversary.
Hi. You got the pizza, right?
The great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special.
Thank you for calling American Express. This is Tara Hilton. How can I help you?
Talking to our card members, I just enjoy doing that.
I've been an American Express financial advisor for 13 years.
I get to know customers. I listen to them.
They can give you all the service that you need.
Thank you.
We were able to make different travel arrangements.
Some small way, you were able to influence people's lives.
It helps take out some of the stress in their life.
Which is an amazing thing to be able to do.
This is a new Pontiac Vibe. What do you think of it? Just stands out, yeah. Yeah, dude, it's tight. So what do you guys think of the inside of it? It's iced out. It's iced out? Iced out.
Sounds cool, man. Yeah, that sounds good.
What is it? It's a plug. You can plug in.
What? Put a blender, we can make smoothies.
You want a smoothie? What do you think of that? The little chrome, all chromed out. What do you like about the Vibe?
There's a party in it.
Meet the new Pontiac Vibe, official vehicle for the NCAA championships. Meet Baby Bob.
I can relate to basketball. There's lots of yelling, crying, and tears. And that's just Bobby Knight.
Baby Bob, premieres CBS Monday.
Demon Deacons up by 1, just over 5 minutes elapsed here in the first half. The affable Skip Prosser has made some history. Only coach in NCAA tournament history to take 3 teams to the tourney in his first year at each school. He did it, of course, at Xavier, and before that at Loyola of Maryland. Quite an accomplishment.
And good to see that Hicks is back out on the floor for Wake Forest right now. Took that good shot early on in this basketball game, but has bounced back.
Go with a 2-point guard set as Craig Dawson takes a seat for Wake. So it's Hicks and Downey on the floor.
Ducks come back with the zone, a little bit of a matchup look. Also a 2-3 look. We'll see if somebody cuts against it.
On a kick out, jumper, Downey is good for 3.
Continue to get very, very solid guard play for Wake Forest.
Wake opens up 7 of 11 from the field. Jackson a floater. Gets the roll.
Well, he has such good decisions and makes good decisions going through the lane, and then that left-handed touch. All those lefties, I love them. They're so soft with the basketball. That one just dropped. Feathery touch.
Oregon, the number 3 scoring team in the nation, as they come in averaging 85.8 points. Substitution, Craig Dawson has checked back into the game, and he replaces Irvin Murray. Oregon with a change as well. Mark Michaelis, a big man off the bench from South Jordan, Utah, seeing his first action of the day. Scott, stop and go. Rims out on that rainbow delivery.
He'd be better off not putting it on the floor.
Now for Christopherson, right down the middle of the floor.
Now, Christopherson in the first round had trouble catching the basketball early on. He is showing that he has better hands than that and really getting up and down the floor in a hurry that trip.
The biggest player in the Pac-10 with a big dunk. Scott, a little flip. And he is not the least bit intimidated by Christopherson's size. Jones the other way. And Hicks is forced to foul.
Well, I didn't think we'd get the action that we've been getting up and down the floor as quickly as we have been. But look at the big fella, all alone, outrunning Scott that trip down the middle of the floor. And what a delivery by Ridnour. Right on the money. Makes life easy if you're 7-footer, 7'2". You have to take those shots all afternoon.
Free throws coming up for Freddie Jones. The work ethic of this team has been well documented. Ridnour, Jackson, Jim Ratz, and then Jones jumped on board during the offseason prior to this year.
Well, that became a friendly, competitive challenge among the teammates. Each of them saying that Sangaila's going to take a break, but the Ducks really focusing on, I want to get better than you, you're going to push me to get better, and that's really what's happened, and they've buried their egos, which is a real interesting point that Ernie Kent keeps focusing on.
For Oregon, Hellquist in for Christopherson. And Vitas Danilus has checked in for Wake Forest, replacing Darius Sangaila.
Danilus is the type of guy, too, that could have an impact on a game like this because he's a difficult guy to scout, and he's active around the offensive glass. We'll see if he does any damage as the Ducks go man-to-man.
Demon Deacons have not missed from three-point territory, 3 out of 3. There's Scott turning. Hellquist holds his ground, and it doesn't matter. Scott using the window, 9 points for Antoine Scott, the senior from New Bern, North Carolina. Michaelis on a kick out. Cross court, Jones will line it up. Can't hit it for 3. Rebound snatched by Jackson and a putback.
That's the movement without the basketball, though, by Jackson, creating his own opportunity that's just then. Constantly in the half-court sets, very active, real good read on where the ball is at all times.
The versatility of Luke Jackson, he can pretty much play every position on the floor other than center. And a steal. Ridnour looking for the angle. Shovel shot, no good, and it's knocked out of bounds. Oregon will retain it.
How about that tip by Hellquist just then? But watch on the other side of the floor. Here comes Jackson, snatch, grab it, and finish it off. Skip
Prosser calls a 30-second timeout. We're tied up 22-22.
Can you
find the sports car in the newest Mazda?
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Ha. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
The new 200 horsepower Mazda MPV. Body of a minivan. Soul of a sports car.
Wake Forest and Oregon all knotted up at 22-22, the 12-16 mark of the first half. Don't miss any action. Get exclusive audio plus video highlights and detailed play-by-play from each game at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Wake Forest shooting it at 64%, Oregon at 67%. After the timeout called by the Deacons, Jackson is fouled. As he took it to the rim, Hicks, he got around him, and the foul called on the point guard for Wake.
Jackson at 6'7", 215 pounds is pretty effective. I think I'd be forcing him to his right hand as much, because with that size discrepancy that he has, if he gets it going where he wants to, he can stop, lean, and jump over and get a shot that goes softly off the glass or put it straight in.
Second foul on Hicks. Jamal Levy has come in for Wake Forest. Anthony Lever seeing his first action for Oregon. Here's Jackson in a matchup with Dawson. Cut by Lever. Rims out. Knocked to the outside, controlled by Michaelis. Downey was out of bounds.
Downey with a good effort, though, coming across the sideline. If he were not out of bounds, he would have been able to save this basketball. He's going to come here and watch him step in, and that ball does hit off Jones, but he was out of bounds prior to that.
Jones looking down low. Hellquist fighting for position, and it cost him. Foul called on the big man, Brian Hellquist. We'll step aside.
What would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix?
Let's go, baby. We're on our way to Lime Rock, premier Grand Prix racetrack around here.
Where else would you take a Grand Prix except on a Grand Prix track?
Let me see how you handle, baby.
Did I tell you?
It's so much fun.
Get out of my way.
This could so be our job.
Wait a minute, just drive around the three of us?
Well, no.
So what would you do with the Pontiac Grand Prix?
None of us have ever been to AC.
Dinner, tuxes? Tell us at Pontiac.com.
Elvis!
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders now, you know they don't upset us. You can have it your way. You got it. We can serve your flaming Whopper. Fresh with lettuce.
I gotta get a Whopper.
You got it.
All right, have it your way. Have it your way. Have it your way. IBK. You got it.
Hi, I'm Susan McGinnis, news anchor for CBS Market Watch. I'm part of a worldwide team of journalists who keep you informed about the markets and your investments on TV, radio, and our website. It's where you should go first for the best information on the markets, analysis of your portfolio, and ideas. Our 24-hour coverage of breaking financial news combined with up-to-the-minute data help you make smart investment decisions. CBS Market Watch is the #1 source for financial news. It's more than just news. It's news you can use.
At Michelin, our tires are rigorously tested. They're laser checked, X-rayed for structural integrity. And finally, no tire leaves the factory without a thorough hand inspection. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
It's time to go back to the beach with Dave.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm a red-hot single.
David Letterman. He knows how to play the game.
Right, girls?
Wake Forest swingman Josh Howard was limited to 18 minutes, 8 points in that win over Pepperdine in the first round. We talked to Skip Prosser before the game. He still didn't know if Howard was going to be able to give it a go because of that high ankle sprain. He told us Howard had been having an all-ACC type of year, and he just can't do the things that he normally does, slashing to the rim.
Yeah, hopefully we get a chance to see him because he's quite a player. But the other night he was clearly struggling. You could tell he just was really tentative.
Catch and shoot. Dawson off the mark and rebounded by Ridnow. Oregon looking for the lead. Ridnow hits shoulder fake. Wow, rejected.
It may have been a haul down low, though.
A foul call as
Levy had the block up high, and I believe the foul was down low. Let's see if they're going to call goaltending is the discussion. Yeah, they are.
Right call.
Levy, did he bounce up? He bounced up. Yeah, he's okay. And
so Rittenauer with a chance to complete the three-point play, and he does.
Pretty good crossover move, though, at the free throw line for Rittenauer just then to get to the basket.
Out on the perimeter. Dawson looking. Here's Levy. Wake now down by 3. Sangala back in there. And
I love the way he uses the basketball, though, as a big guy at 6'9". 250-pound range. He's real good going to his left, being able to pull up on that little soft jumper also.
25-24 Ducks. Jackson, double clutch. Sangala tracks it down along the baseline, and Wake Forest is looking to run with Downey. Bouncing for Levy.
Good balance, though, by the Ducks just then. When that shot went up and the ball became loose, they had 3 guys retreat the half court.
Demon Deacons with a chance to go back in front. Here's Levy way outside. Dawson matched up with Lever.
I'll try to get it on the blocks with Sangala right now with this matchup. See if they can isolate him.
Shot clock at 10. Little shake and bake, didn't work. They're down. Turnaround. Sangala off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Danilus. He'll put it off the window. Vitas Danilus.
See, if you're not ready to guard and defend and block out Danilus, he's going to hurt you in a lot of different ways. That's just solid basketball, just then working the offensive glass.
Both teams at 60% from the field. In fact, Wake is at 61%.
This is a great pace to it, too, right now. Just about what both teams want to do. They want to spot up and run if they have openings.
Sangala, cut. Layup is good as Dawson made his dive to the rim.
And Luke Jackson not aware defensively on the right side of the floor. Good cut.
28-25 Wake Forest. We have crossed the midway point. First half here at Arco Arena. Rittenauer looking for the cutter, and Lever was not in the spot.
The half-court sets. Watch over on this side of the floor. Danilus takes it. Now he regroups. Little banker off the glass. That's good basketball right there. And fundamentally, again, the backdoor cut. Christopherson a little late on the retrieve and the weak side help, and Dawson finishes off another touch.
Wake Forest with a 3-point lead. Downey, high post. Sangala trying to turn the corner, and a push was called on Brian Hellquist.
You are seeing the smarts of Sangala, though, as an offensive player. When he gets a guy out 15 feet, he's willing to put the ball 1 or 2 times on the floor to get a better shot. There, he just said to the big guy, all right, you're bigger than I am. I'm not going to bang around with you down there, so I'm going to take you out 12 feet and make you defend me.
Second personal foul on Hellquist, 6th team foul on Oregon. Hellquist picked up 4 fouls in a matter of 5 or 6 minutes the other night in their victory over Montana.
He just bumped him again and got away with it.
Off the Sangala miss. Jones gets it ahead for Lever. Rittenauer trailing the play and now has a matchup with Levy. Jones lets it fly. Hits for 3. And a defensive rebound by Danilus.
Sangala wants the basketball. He feels pretty comfortable in this matchup.
Oregon is going a bit cold on the offensive end. Danilus a jumper, short. And rebounded by Hellquist. Rittenauer off the stutter step. Lever lines it up. And it rims out on a 3-point attempt.
That's where they slow one down right here. These big guys are having trouble getting up and down the floor. Sangala for Wake, Christopherson for the Ducks.
Oregon has missed its last 5 shots from the field. Under 9 minutes to go until intermission.
Danilus wants the basketball on the left side of the floor also.
Connects for 3.
Pretty work off the screen, too. You look to the left side of the floor. If it's not there, go to the right. Run your screens, run your sets, and look for your open wing jumpers.
Wake Forest on a 9-0 run. They lead it by 6.
In and out. Good. Keep the victim calm. 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay, there you go. It's over 130 channels, sports, news, entertainment, even your local channels, and it's only $39.99 a month.
Just $39.99 a month. Over 130 channels of DirecTV programming, even your local ones. Now get a DirecTV system for $49 or less, installed.
So it was the digital music that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, you talked about Wake Forest and the tough schedule they have faced this year, preparing them for the NCAA tournament. They are the only team in the tournament to play all of the #1 seeds in the regular season. The downside of that, they went 0-7. We talked to Skip Prosser about it earlier.
Well, he thinks it's something that you need to do. I think you need to get tough. You need to play against these good teams. They're an experienced team. A lot of times the experiences have not been all that good, is what he said, but right now they look pretty good to me in terms of their comfort level on the floor.
Wake Forest, 4 out of 5 for three-point territory. Jackson with a leader, rebounded by Jones, and a travel called as he was battling with Jamal Levy for the basketball. Oregon has now turned it over for the 6th time.
Fans reacting. Ernie Kent reacting also. Did he have clean possession on that, or did Levy have his hands on the basketball also? I think you could make that judgment too.
James Davis, a sophomore, is checked in along with Mark Michaelis for the Ducks. Spread the floor. Here's Downey. High screen. Sungailu. Downey.
As Downey continues to give them good opportunity and good tempo in the backcourt for Wake Forest. I mean, the guards are really the important thing, as we spoke to Skip Prosser before this basketball game.
12-0 run for the Demon Deacons. Under 8 minutes to play here in the first half.
The guards play well. The Deeks play well.
Davis. Three-pointer doesn't go, and rebounded on the weak side by Danilus.
And look right now, their tempo setting. Coming up the floor, they don't want to push it every single time, but if they have opportunities, they'll do it.
Sungailu, off three. He'll put it on the floor. Hard drive as he spins it in.
The guys are now in trouble with Sungailu out front. They just cannot handle his ability to put the ball on the floor. That's why Ernie Kent is bringing Johnson into this basketball game to try to get him to defend out front.
Johnson, who picked up 2 early fouls. Ridnour, a jumper for 3.
Doesn't seem rattled, does he? It just comes off screens. He has a great understanding of when he's open on the floor because he anticipates his shots.
It ends a 14-0 run, and you're right about Ridnour. Does not play like a sophomore.
Look at Sungailu. He can't wait to get his hands on the basketball. See if he tries to drive him.
Sungailu, only player in double figures with 11. Almost had 2 more, but it comes off the back of the iron. Jones running. Ridnour on a wing. Sets up and hits for 3.
And how about running a fast break and hitting the wings? 3-on-1 break just then. Little trail defensively by Wake Forest. Great decision by Jones. Don't try to do too much. Ridnour just knocked one back. Ride the hot hand. Good decisions.
Back-to-back long-range jump shots for Luke Ridnour. And now a 5-point disparity. Levy on a lob upstairs. Perfectly put for Sungailu.
Sungailu holding off again down low. He's just too good with his footwork. Great delivery.
That one doesn't go for Ridnour. Down to 6:20 to play until halftime. 38-31, Wake Forest. Downey on a dump off. Trailing inside. Danilus with a finish. And a gorgeous move on the post.
Now these two guys, Danilus and Sungailu, are very, very good when they are trying to establish position, and then once they catch it.
Off the entry, Jones is hacked. And free throws coming up. You're right, both Lithuanian players are very polished underneath the basket.
Well, did you see that last one with Jones just then, Ian? He caught it and really went quickly with it. The other two guys, maybe not as athletic, but they kind of plot into their moves, and they're fundamentally sound.
Wake Forest shooting it at 63% from the outside. They lead it by 9.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
Introducing the tough, versatile Saturn Vue. At home in almost any environment.
Leave them in the dust with the Intel Pentium 4 processor.
Thanks for the lift.
out?
I jumped out of the moving truck.
You're kidding.
At that point, it was like my decision was made. I'm out of here.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
I would like a different partner. Can you imagine me and a Wesley Snipes tight?
Robert De Niro. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Eddie Murphy.
Don't say it.
Showtime. Showtime.
Showtime!
Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg in New York. 40-31, Wake Forest in the lead over Oregon. We'll come back in just a moment to Sacramento. First of all, in Albuquerque, the Arizona Wildcats started strong. 4 out of 5 from the field. They've gone 0 for 7 since and have fallen behind.
Well, to sustain the effort they started with, they're going to have to be able to work through some very aggressive sandpaper-like defense from Wyoming. This is a very physical team. They've got good quickness at every position, and they will make you play a very physical, tough brand of basketball. If Arizona can do that, then they have a chance to beat this team. Otherwise, it could be a long day, Greg.
Arizona's gone ice cold, missing their last 8 shots, while the Cowboys are on an 11-1 run and have grabbed the 14-11 lead as they are now under 11.5 minutes for the first half. In St. Louis, they're in a timeout, and maybe it's just as well for Kentucky, which started like a house of fire, and then all of a sudden, here come the Golden Hurricanes.
Well, this is a battle between a team with excellent quickness in Tulsa and Kentucky, a team that has decent quickness but more size. Which will prevail? I would lean towards the size of Kentucky over the course of the game, but right now, Tulsa doing a nice job using that quickness and three-point shooting to only be down by 1.
All right, Clark, we'll keep an eye on those games for you, and meanwhile, let's get you back to Sacramento. Wake Forest and the Ducks of Oregon, 40-33 Wake. Ian Eagle and Jim Spinarca.
It is Danilus. Will shoot the 1-and-1. On the season, Danilus 73%. The freshman connects on the first.
And the pace has been very, very quick all throughout the first 15 minutes or so of this basketball game. I thought we'd see maybe a little bit of spot-ups running the floor, but both teams are looking for opportunities when they haven't. Quite candidly, the pace has been up and down. I don't think both of these coaches wanted to get it going this quickly early.
42-33 Wake. Here's Ridnour off the dribble. Christopherson set the screen again on Hicks. Inside, Johnson is not going to factor because of foul shot. Off the glass, no. Rebound squirts out to Howard.
Howard with that injury is not going to be able to run the ball up the floor. Normally, he's a very good slasher, guy who can make things happen.
Ball movement. Levy looks to the interior as we hit the 5-minute mark of the first half. Wake trying to bring the lead to double digits. Here's Scott driving in on Christopherson. And the bank shot.
Skip Prosser gave him the green light. He basically said to him, you touch it down there, go after that big guy Christopherson and make something happen with the ball.
11 points for Scott. Christopherson discarded Scott on the inside as Ridnour is dead on with a three-pointer.
Ridnour continues to hold the Ducks in this basketball game. His solid play, his fine shooting from the outside, his decision-making. The Ducks need a couple of stops.
This first half is flying by. 4:25 to go until halftime.
And the beauty of this is that both of these teams have played tough competition all season long, so they both came out ready to go.
Hicks, shake and bake off the crossover. Johnson, no. Jackson kept it alive. Levy on the inside. A banker, but it's waved off.
Michael Jones from behind him. A lot of traffic in there, bumping and shoving before that ball came down.
Take a look at our game summary with 4:09 to go in the first half. Hot shooting from Wake Forest, 62%. Oregon at 50%, yet they trail this game by 8. Songaila with 13. Ridnour, he has been the go-to guy offensively for the Ducks. And Levy at the free throw line as Jones picks up his second foul, Jim.
Yeah, the difference clearly in the scoring right now has been the play of the inside work of Songaila down low. They've established him on the blocks and also Scott. So both guys on the blocks interchanging. Skip Prosser's coming down, not forcing the action, but he's telling these guys, spread the floor. We'll look for isolations. If we get them the ball quickly and give them some room to go and operate.
Levy, 57% at the line, and he is getting Skip Prosser some quality minutes. during this NCAA tournament so far. Ridnow tries a zigzag, and Wake Forest was there defensively. Jackson, head and shoulder fake.
Tendency now is to force a shot when you're struggling as a team. Let's see if Ridnow can take over. If he pulls it back here, wants to run something and get a good shot.
Demon Deacons lead by 9.
Good work by the point guard.
Howard comes out to guard him. Ridnow off the dribble. Tries to swing it inside. Last touch by Levy. And a timeout. 10 seconds remain on the shot clock. We'll come back to Sacramento after this.
What are you up to in those Old Navy legendary cargoes? Old Navy legendary cargoes. The pants that legends are made of, with pockets to spare. They're the zip-offable, high-flyable, off-roadable, cliff-climbable way to get into and out of trouble. At rock-solid prices, just $26.50 and up. They're not just cargoes. They're legendary cargoes. Only at Old Navy. You dig?
It's March Madness, Sweet 16, Elite 8, the Final Four. And what will you see on the courts? Nothing. Those who lose get nothing. Those who win, nothing. Because everyone on the court is drinking Aquafina. The numbers do not lie. Zip, zero, nothing. Only Aquafina makes nothing this pure and refreshing. Now that's a sixth man. Aquafina riding the pine is the official water for the NCAA championships.
Moo. Gateway's got an amazing business deal for you on the Gateway 910C server. It's powered by an Intel Celeron processor and it's just $4.99. Plus, when you buy this or any select Gateway server, you'll get an on-site security check. It's everything you need to see how secure your business network is, and it's free. So just call 1-800-GATEWAY today and see what we can do for your business. That's 1-800-GATEWAY.
Wednesday on a special night of Survivor. Don't miss the first 10 minutes when the castaways' lives are turned upside down. Really? All new Survivor, CBS Wednesday.
Coming up, singular at the half. Craig and Clark will get you updated on all the tournament news and the scores and highlights, plus a look at all the action with some live look-ins across the NCAA tournament. That's coming up on singular at the half. Oregon started this game 7 of 8 from the field. Since then, they are 6 of 18, and Wake Forest has built a lead as large as 11. It's currently 9. Here's Jones. Shot clock is down to 8. He tried to step in, and he does draw the foul. 17 foul on Wake Forest, so Jones heads to the line, a 1-and-1.
That's going to go against Sungaila, too, also.
It's number 2 on the Wake Forest center.
The next move should be to the bench for Sungaila. That's an easy decision for Skip Prosser. Let's see if he steps in right here. Well, both of those guys defensively. Dawson right there also.
And Sungaila has been prone to fouls throughout his Wake Forest career, setting a school record in that category as Danilus comes in.
Well, Dawson has 0 fouls, so Wake Forest would have preferred that to go against him. That's why Dawson was trying to raise his hand on the play.
Jones good on the free throw, 87% on the season. One thing Ernie Kent talked about this year, getting more consistency from Freddie Jones, and that's what's happened. Jones had a breakout year his senior season.
Well, knowing that you have the firepower that they do, they should not really get rattled. They'll have some problems once in a while, like they did for about 4 minutes of this game, but then they'll go after it.
Dawson pulls the trigger. Way out for 3.
Nice job by Jones, getting low on the floor for that dribble before it bounced.
Gets to the cross. And knocks it down. His toe was on the line. A long 2-footer. And Jones has 10.
Here comes a little run by the Ducks. So Wake has to respond now and relax a little bit without some guy on the floor. Get something down low to Scott.
Wake's lead has shrunk to 5. Coming up on 3 minutes to go first half. Green and jet shot. Scott off the rim. No. Ridnow motors ahead. Jones has the touch. Side rim on a 3.
Oh, that was a big miss. Big miss, because the Ducks had it wrong just then.
Downing weaving his way through traffic. Spots Howard and a jumper. Is good for 3.
Well, the question mark lingers with Howard. Can he play through the ankle injury? Looked pretty good on that jump shot, and the response coming down the floor looked even better. The other night, he seemed hurt by that type of move.
Leaning in, Jackson doesn't get the roll, but he is going to the free throw line.
The action starting down the other end of the floor. Good push. Downey coming down the floor, and he fans it all the way to the corner. Upstairs with the jumper. Good luck.
And the first foul called on Craig Dawson.
You always look at guys like Howard Iron when they have ankle injuries like that. The other night when he was playing in the basketball game, he would go up for the same type of jumper, and he'd come down, and you could see his face wince a little bit with the pain. Doesn't appear to be a problem right now.
And the question here may be, was that a 2 or a 3? And the officials huddling up. It is a 3 on the scoreboard, 48-40. Wake Forest with the lead, 2:34 to go here, first half. And really the first stoppage we've had for anybody in this arena to catch their breath. It's been back and forth.
I'm going to take a break while I can. I don't know about you.
I'll take over. It's not a problem, Jimmy. You know, I have no issues with
taking
the
over,
whole
right?
Talking category. Ernie Kent was asking about it.
Yep.
This is the Jones
shot. Well, that didn't even go in, so that's not a problem there. Down the other end of the floor. Here we go. And it was down the other end of the floor where they had the jumper with Downey's pass that we just talked about. The little flip over the top for the jumper from the corner by Howard.
Well, the disparity is now 7. Jackson hits the free throw, but they keep 48 on the board for Wake.
Yep, there's, oh boy, it's so difficult to tell. With the Jones one they're questioning, I guess, right there also. And that was very close to the line. They gave him a 3 for that?
They gave him a 2 for that.
2, okay. I think that might be the right call because his foot looked like it was just barely grazing that line.
And Jackson hits on the free throw. 48-42. 2.5 to go.
That was a pretty good catch right there because I think that foot did hit the line. Good work by the camera crew.
Howard fending off. Downey the no-look feed. Here's Howard trying to make his move. He does with a leading jump shot. Knocked outside and controlled by Dawson. So a new shot clock for Wake Forest to work with.
Howard a factor on his missed shot just then. Not as easy as it was in the first 10 minutes of his basketball for Wake to get their good looks.
Tighter defense from Oregon. Lever knocks it away. Jones resets to Jackson. Good look inside as Jackson was trailing the play.
We just saw a good look at the running Ducks also. How about Jones's reaction too? They forced him to the right corner of the floor, but no quit on the play when he found the double team, smart enough to release and look for Jackson with the finish.
Down a loose ball fake. Stripped away and a foul. Ernie Kent telling his players, take it down a notch.
Here he is into the corner. Now watch, brings it back out. That's just a real good, solid basketball play, knowing your teammates. Here it comes. Watch the double again. They close on him. Jones sees Jackson coming down the middle of the floor and gets it to him right on the money, so Jackson doesn't have to put it on the floor. Just a catch and delivery.
Skip Prosser just made a change. Teron Downey limping a bit off the floor as he's replaced by Broderick Hicks. Just a minute 37 to go, first half. And Danilus off the mark on that free throw.
Skip Prosser would love to have Sungila on the floor for the last 3 minutes of this half, but he just can't take that chance with the 2 fouls.
Out of bounds, Oregon will retain it.
So I agree with leaving him sit there, but you know that tendency is obviously why you're thinking, well, the Ducks are making this run, put him back on the floor, but it's so important not to get that third. That would be the biggest mistake on the stat sheet at halftime if he had 3 fouls. So a good decision by Skip to leave him sitting there.
Jackson.
Oh, that is so difficult to defend up. You get him going to his right, goes up the step ladder for a little flip shot.
13 points for Jackson. Oregon closing in on Wake in the final moments of the first half.
If you thought the Ducks were going to go away, you thought wrong. Here they come again with Jackson leading.
Intercepted. A 10-3 run. Ridnow gets it back from Jones. Lines it up. Can't hit it side rim. Johnson inside. And knocked away.
That was a terrific break, though. Each player on the Ducks did what they do so well.
Howard stop and go. Leaning jump shot. No. Trying to follow it, and he went down awkwardly. Ridnow pushing it. 35 seconds left in the half. And Jones able to gather in. And now Oregon will settle it down with A 5.5-second difference. Shot clock to game clock.
Boy, the pace just then was pretty good for about 45 seconds back and forth.
Ernie Kent calls out a play from the bench. Here's Ridnour near midcourt, 10 to shoot.
Little high screen with Jackson. Two guys that can handle the basketball.
5 seconds left on the timer. Ridnour gets rid of it. Jumper, leaper. A three, no. Here's Howard, 4 seconds. Down to 3 seconds. And a double dribble. With 2.6 on the clock.
Oh, he was trying to set his footwork up to get a shot off because he had looked up at the clock. Skip Rossa now has to get his guys to regroup defensively. And Ernie Kent's telling his squad, hey guys, we got 2.6 seconds. Let's try to get a pass going towards the basket. Don't get it going towards the Wake Forest basket instead in case of the steal. See if we can steal a free shot right here.
Irvin Murray checks in for Broderick Hicks. And Jackson will toss it in for Oregon.
Ridnour is going to try to go on the right side of our screen. If he can try to get, they bypass him.
Jones will get a shot off. He will not. Good close by Scott to block it away. And time runs out. Here in the first half, 20 minutes of basketball in the books. Ernie Kent's team down by as many as 11, but they closed it to within 2. Let's check in with Dwayne Ballin. Dwayne?
Now, that was a great first half of basketball. You know, Oregon's very talented, very good. You knew they're going to make some runs, and we just got to, try to get Singalia back on the floor, with the 2 fouls, and just try to play a little bit better in the second half.
Thank you. Ian?
All right, Dwayne, thank you. 48-46, Skip Prosser's team in front. Now, we talked about this before the game. Would that up-and-down style favor Wake or Oregon? Leading into the second half, you get the sense that Oregon would benefit more.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're a little deeper in terms of the talent to be able to go up and down the floor. We'll see what adjustments they make.
Well, a fun one, at least through the first 20 minutes here at Arco as we get ready for Singular at the half. Greg Gumbel and Clark Kellogg.
Follow the NCAA tournament with live scores, stats, and analysis in the Game Center only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
Entertainment Weekly calls it the best show on TV. The King of Queens, CBS Monday.
Earn your associate's degree in Network Information Systems or Electronics, Computers, and Telecommunications in 18 months or less at Test College. Course offerings include computer programming, software applications, graphic design, and Microsoft, Cisco, and A+ certification. Call 1-800-488-3778.
90 years ago, Chevy hit the road and never looked back. Today, we continue to drive ahead with up to $2,002 cash back or 0% APR financing on most 2002 Chevy cars, trucks, and vans. That's big cash back or 0 APR on most Chevys. See why America loves the bow tie. See your local Chevy dealer today.
If he can find the back of the net with this shot, the cup is theirs. What must be going through that young man's head, young man's head, young man's head. Will he be going home to a hero's welcome tonight?
Two of our games are at halftime, and a third is in action in Albuquerque. We will take you there shortly as we get you caught up on the tournament.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
Welcome, everyone, to Singular at the Half. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Clark Kellogg. You've been watching games in both St. Louis and Sacramento. Let's run down the action for you. First of all, in the East, in St. Louis, Tulsa and Kentucky. That is a 43-42 Kentucky lead. Kentucky's fast break finished by Keith Bogans with a slam here. He has 11 points.
And then in transition, Jason Parker for Tulsa going to find Kevin Johnson behind the defense. Kentucky up by 2. But then Keith Bogans, who had a strong first half, drives, draws, drops a dime to Jules Kamara. It's a 4-point lead Wildcat.
Tayshaun Prince hit 3 out of 4 from behind the three-point line, 16 points in all in the first half. And right now at the break, Kentucky leads it by a score of 43-42. In Sacramento, Wake Forest with a 2-point lead on the number 2 seed in the Midwest, the Oregon Ducks.
Teron Downey going to find Antoine Scott for the throwdown. It was 4-4 early on. This one's been up and down, up and down. Rittenauer to Christopherson with the slam. We're tied at 18.
And then Darius Sangala will drive the center of the lane for the layup to extend the Demon Deacon lead to 11 at that point. But it's only a 2-point game as we speak at the break. Wake Forest leading at 48-46. In Albuquerque, second round game in the West. 3.5 to play. Arizona with a 30-23 lead on the 11th seed Cowboys of Wyoming. Let's take you to the pit. Beth Johnson, Dan Bonner.
3:25 to go here in the first half of play. Arizona up 30-23 over Wyoming, and a foul has been called against Arizona's Dennis Lattimore, a freshman from Halstead, Kansas. And Arizona over the limit. So let's summarize everything for you. Cats shooting 44%. Cowboys out rebounding Arizona, and the turnover's pretty equal.
Big key to this game was that defensive switch that Arizona made, going from the 3-2 zone to the sagging man-to-man, cut off the inside play of Wyoming for a stretch that allowed Arizona to go on a 14-0 run.
And here's something more interesting as Reese misses the free throw. That was the first free throw attempt for the Cowboys this afternoon. Now Walton driving baseline, looks inside. Walton dumps it down, Fry, great catch. Can't get the first, fouled on the second. The West bracket with Wyoming and Arizona, the winner will head to the next round to take on the winner of the Xavier-Oklahoma game.
And that game will occur next weekend in San Jose.
Channing Frye at the line. And he is having a really nice game so far as you take a look at his numbers versus Santa Barbara. And this afternoon, he has 6 points, 5 rebounds, 4 block shots already. Really good free throw shooter, makes the second, 75% on the year. 3:05 and counting. 31-23. Arizona has been able to take this crowd out of the game. It is not a pro-Arizona crowd.
And I think that's a big key. If Wyoming can make a couple of buckets and get back in, this crowd will really come to life.
Corner fading on the jump shot. Here comes Walt, 6'8", able to run the point. What versatility. Fry inside again. The young fella from Phoenix has come to play, folks. 6 feet 10 inches.
I think Wyoming thought they might be able to muscle Fry, but Fry has been able to use his nice hands in that finesse game to score effectively.
Ties the biggest lead. Corner again. Dialing up off the heel. And Sanwu Amadi with the rebound.
And that's what Arizona wants. They want to force Wyoming out there into that perimeter shooting game.
Fry blocking the shot, but it's called for a foul. So what should Wyoming do? They're sagging. Arizona's sagging. They're trying to take that interior game away from them. So what kind of adjustments does Steve McLean make?
One of the things that you have to do is be able to take the ball and drive it to the basket. You want to create some situations to force defenders to come and help and open up other people for easy passes. Plus, I think they're going to have to hit some shots from the perimeter.
Straight getting the first Monday on an all-new Late Show with David Letterman. Don't miss Arizona Senator John McCain and musical guest, the White Stripes. Then on Tuesday, Dave welcomes Jon Stewart, only on CBS. Lattimore checking out, Anderson back in. One more coming up for Jason Strait, who averaged 30 points per game in the Chicago Public School League. Thought about going to Marquette, but Wyoming won him over. Gets the second one to go. 2:14 to play. Now Strait has to guard the speedy Jason Gardner, who can teach him a thing or two about playing this position.
Man-to-man defense for Wyoming.
Bynum. Whistle. Straight called for the foul. And Jason Gardner is so quick that guys try to hold him even when he doesn't have the ball.
That's when you want to hold him. You hope the referees aren't looking. You get a point guard comparison right there. You certainly want to hold him while he's got the ball, because the referees can see that, but Straight got caught anyway.
He scored or assisted on 24 of the 33 points today. Gardner gets the free throw. He has 8 points, and as our colleague Clark Kellogg would say, 8 points and 8 dimes. That's an assist. Second one, no good. Davis with the rebound, and Davis has been quiet. Had 11 points in their win over Gonzaga to go along with the 14 rebounds and 5 blocks. Bailey, their leading scorer, at 14 per game.
Not a bad defensive effort in the first half by Wyoming, but they've got to be able to put some points on the board.
Wyoming facing a man-to-man now. Straight pulls up and hits it over Gardner.
So the Wildcats in a tussle, under a minute and a half to play. They lead Wyoming by a score of 34-27. 2 more games to come your way tonight here on CBS. In the South, UNC Wilmington against the 5 seed Indiana. In the Midwest, number 8 Stanford against the top seed Kansas. Thank you for joining us here on Singular at the Half. We will send you back to either Sacramento or St. Louis, wherever you came from, right after this.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
Growing up, all we wanted to do was play. But as the world opened up to us, it became easier to get sidetracked. And just one single bet, one simple step can blow not only your education, but a chance to compete in the sport that we love.
They watch from the stands while their money changes hands.
The only thing worth betting on is ourselves.
Don't cross that line.
I am a good sport at all times and conduct myself with decency and honesty.
I do my best to get along with others.
And have pride in myself. I put forth my best effort in all competition and always compete fairly.
Come on, D. See what you can give me. Yes. Focus.
Augusta National celebrates the 100th birthday of the man behind the mystique, the legendary Bobby Jones. A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
Halftime at Arco, Wake Forest leading Oregon 48-46. We'll return to Sacramento after this message and a word from your local station.
Hi, everyone. I'm back in town to get you on your feet again. Get up. Okay, fellas.
So what do you think? Good offense or good defense? Pick one for a chance to win a Volvo S60 at volvocars.com/questions.
Watch Monday's highest-rated show, Everybody Loves Raymond, only on CBS.
Buick. This great American car company delivers LeSabre, best-selling full-size car with the highest model loyalty in its class. Buick Rendezvous already outsells Acura and Mercedes SUVs. Choose 0% APR or 2002 cash back. Plus, there's an additional $500 on Century and Regal for a total of $2,502 cash. See your nearest Buick dealer today.
The Green Turtle Restaurant and Sports Bar is a time-tested Maryland tradition with 5 convenient locations. Johnny Holiday from my favorite Green Turtle location in Laurel. With their huge video wall, it's the ideal place to follow the Terps on their march to the Final Four. The Green Turtle is also the place for lunch or a casual dinner with family and friends. And don't miss the Tuesday night Turtle Feast. Prime rib and steamed shrimp for just $9.95. The Green Turtle Restaurant and Sports Bar. Come for the food, stay for the fun.
Toyota's nationwide spring event is on, and that's a good thing. With incredible values on a huge selection, including the toughest nails Toyota trucks. Get any Tundra and get $500 cash back from Toyota, or save with low APR financing up to 60 months. Tundra is the highest rated full-size pickup in Insurance Institute crash test. Get a tough Tacoma. Save over $500 with an options package. Get to Toyota's nationwide spring event.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Chevy, Kinko's Network, IBM, and by Miller Lite.
We're ready for second half action here in Sacramento, 48-46. Wake Forest, the 7th seed, leading the number 2 seed in the Midwest, Oregon. And welcome back to Arco. Ian Eagle along with Jim Spinarco, up-tempo style. Both teams in that first half. Wake built an 11-point lead at one point, but Oregon able to close in that late stages of the first half because Darius Sangala was on the bench.
You knew they would not go away, Oregon. They're going to really come at you in the second half, too, if you're Wake Forest. And also only 11 turnovers with that first half. But Darius Sangala was the guy. And you just watch the footwork here. Drop to the basket. Now watch this next one as he sets a screen. Here comes the screen. Watch his rotation. Good step. Nice drop. Goes to the basket and finishes it off. Real strong effort just then in the first half. So you would think that they'd focus in on him again, Wake Forest. Don't be surprised to see if Scott touches that ball again as he did in the first half.
A 2-point lead for Wake Forest as we open up the second half from Arco Arena in Sacramento. Wake Forest looking to go to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1996. We told you about Oregon. They hadn't won an NCAA tournament game in 42 years until their victory over Montana on Thursday. Murray gets rid of it. Sangala, a jump shot. Off the rim, rebounded by Jackson.
You think about pace and which team is deeper. They go up and down the floor, but for the most part, they're basically the same type of teams.
Jones looking down low. .19:23 to go here in regulation, and Wake Forest with a 48-46 lead over Oregon. There was a scramble for the loose ball underneath and a timeout taken. So we will step aside. We'll come back with much more from Sacramento in a moment.
Whenever you call me, whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be around.
Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last.
You never have to look too far.
Chevy, we'll be there.
Always with you.
There I am. I can't hear a thing. I'm trying to talk to somebody, and voila, it's a conversation bubble.
That's a winner. That's a surefire winner.
When CZB Industries created the Convo Pub, they brought the Kinko's Network team in-house, giving them the technology and people to illuminate the idea and reach growing global markets. And when the phenomenon exploded, Kinko's grew with them. Introducing the Kinko's Network. If it could help a company like this succeed, imagine what it could do for yours.
Listen up. We brought in a very special consultant to help us with our fundamentals.
This is a triangle.
Triangle.
What's this?
Triangle.
What's this?
Triangle. What's this?
The bill.
What'd that cost?
$4 million.
And he's not going to stick around to see if it works?
From a blind guy?
Well, what are you going to do for an encore there? I think I may kick some puppies. How's that?
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Did you steal that guy's dog, too? Is that whose dog that is?
Sunday on 60 Minutes, Mike Wallace and the real Nobel Prize winner that Russell Crowe plays in the movie A Beautiful Mind.
Minute of play here in the second half. Wake Forest with a 2-point edge over Oregon in what has been an up-and-down type game, at least through the first 20 minutes of action.
You know, the strategies for both teams now is to make sure they make good decisions in the half-court sets, because both teams are not going to let the other one run as much as they would prefer.
Oregon with a chance to tie or take the lead. Rittenauer fires it over to Johnson. Ball fake. Johnson leaning in with a left hand. No good. And rebounded by Danilus, who just checked in for Wake Forest.
From a strategy standpoint, both of these teams with their respective players who can score. Jones for Oregon, Songaila for Wake Forest, both avoiding third fouls in the first half. I'm a big believer in holding on to an extra foul into the second half, so they should be both able to play carefree right now.
Murray circling, shot clock at 10. Cutter is Danilus. Danilus denied on the inside.
May have been Jackson, the second guy in there to really attack defensively.
Rittenauer leaves it for Jackson. Ernie Kent wanted a bump on Murray.
Murray may have tangled the arms up just then a little bit.
Jones head and shoulders fake. Jump shot, no good. And a whistle. Foul call. Wake Forest 48, Oregon 46, 18-21 mark of the second half. And another substitution for Skip Prosser as he has made some changes here early stages second half. Oregon looking to tie this one up or take the lead. Jackson leaning off the rim, draws the foul as Dawson was defending him mid-post.
Well, one of the things the Ducks have done early on here, as you take a look at the summary, with the shooting percentage, I think has been great. You look at 52% for Wake Forest, 45% for the Ducks. But what the Ducks are going to try to do now is go down deep a little bit, closer to the basket. We've seen that in 2 or 3 possessions. Ernie Kent's team at the half making an adjustment, saying, let's pack this in a little bit for the first 3 or 4 minutes of the second half. See if we can get an extra foul problem on some of the big guys down low.
Great run at the end of the first half, 10-3 to close to within 2. And Teron Downey in for Broderick Hicks. Luke Jackson, 14 points, 6 rebounds, tack on 1 more for Jackson. And we are tied at 48, just about 2 minutes elapsed here in the second half.
Both of these teams are not going to quit. I know that's a cliche, but we saw the Ducks in the first half go down and made a run at the end of the first half. I'm sure both of these teams are going to keep fighting it out to the wire. This should be a great second half.
8-0 run, bridging the first and second half for Wake Forest. Downey, the lefty, puts it on the floor, 10 to shoot.
A little tougher defense out on the perimeter.
Using the screen, and hits for 3.
Now, he doesn't need much time or space to get his shot off.
Wake Forest, 7 of 10 from 3-point range as Dawson knocks down one for the Demon Deacons to give them the 51-48 lead. Well, the third team foul called on Wake and the third personal on Dawson.
And what that indicates is the Ducks are really moving without the ball well.
They close in on Christopherson. Kick out. Rittenauer.
No, with a step though.
Ball for travel.
It's the right play. Christopherson gets that double team again as we saw in the first half. He kicked it to Rittenauer. Ernie Kent very happy. See Ernie come up shuffling just then. He's saying to Rittenauer, come up quicker to get to your spot where you can get that 17-footer. Don't wait back by the 3-point line. Slide right in.
Here's Downey in a matchup with Jones. Post-up opportunity, Songaila, but it's out of bounds.
That's who Skip Prosser. They want him touching the basketball. See the little isolation. Johnson on the back of him right there. Oh, yeah. What does your indicate?
Indicates that I think they missed that one.
I think so also.
Johnson gets rid of it for Jones. Ball fake. Into the lane. Great first step. Can't finish it. Quick outlet from Sungailu.
Good job there by Scott getting in the way.
Dawson, one dribble and a jumper. Knocks it down for three.
Well, if you've read your scouting reports, you better find Dawson because he can flat out rip it from long range.
He is 4 of 6 from three-point territory, 14 points. He's the high man for Wake. Johnson trying to back in and a turnover. It's a run out for Downey. Ridnour gets back. Downey, a leaner.
Good decision. He straightened up Ridnour just then. You want to delay just a little bit, try to get your defender to lock, and then make your decision with the purpose to the basket. Nice little pull up there with the left.
Demon Deacons on an 8-0 run. Coming up on the 16-minute mark, second half. Ridnour off the stutter step. Luke Jackson, no. Scott keeps it alive for Sungailu.
Good block out there by Scott also.
Chance to bring the lead to double figures. Sungailu, quicker than Christopherson. Leaning in, it rims out. And Christopherson with a defensive rebound.
Sungailu very good at changing his shot in flight, even if the defender's not there.
Jones, a three, crooked.
I see, they don't go away. And Jones, as we touched on earlier in this basketball game, speaking to Ernie Kent before the game, he wants Jones to get more involved, and I think he's going to have to step up and get active on the wing.
13 points for Freddie Jones. Murray taking it all the way in for two.
How about the little hesitation for Murray at the foul line, working for his benefit.
Off the made basket, Oregon pushes it down the floor. 7-point disparity. Jones from the other side for three.
That's a breakdown defensively. Good job by Jackson and Jones, really using one another. A little exchange with a mini weave on the right side of the floor. Breakdown defensively, though, by Wake Forest.
He's got 16 for Oregon. Backdoor cut, and the finish for Scott underneath. Another pull-up. Jones feeling it as it rims out on a three-point attempt.
Wake Forest doing a nice job of running their half-court sets. If they have the spots and to be selective to go up and down the floor to run, they will. If not, they're pretty patient on the half-court sets.
8 of 11 from three-point range. The Demon Deacons. Dawson feeds the post. Sungailu turning. Loses the ball.
Good work by Johnson and Christopherson, man. Double teaming.
Ridnour kicks it into an extra gear. Off the window, Luke Ridnour.
Well, did he ever have to go high? Noticing Scott coming from behind just then. I think it would have been goaltending if Scott got to that basketball anyway.
17 for Ridnour. He's the high man for the Ducks. 60-56 Wake. Dawson, a jumper. Back of the iron. Sungailu keeps it alive. Offensive rebound. Downey had an ocean. Ridnour goes for the steal, and he touched it last. Oh, this pace has carried over.
Good enough for you?
14-13 to go in regulation. We're coming back to Arco in a minute.
There are 441 tax law changes. One provision could affect how much you pay. Is it on page 17 or page 17,000? No one understands the tax law changes better than H&R Block. If you're not satisfied, you don't pay.
Just once I want these guys at Subway to talk to me about something besides food. Hey, Scott! Hey, Jim. You know that girl at the pet store? The redhead? She's asking about you.
The one who feeds the lizards and the turtles?
Yeah, you got something you want me to tell her?
Yeah, tell her that right now, Subway has 4 fresh-made Subway Selects, each with a tasty sauce. Like the Southwest chicken with a zingy Southwest sauce and a horseradish steak and cheese with a zesty horseradish sauce. It's a taste nobody should miss.
Scott, you don't get out very much, do you?
Subway! Eat fresh!
Chevy Tahoe is the only large SUV with the security of AutoTrack 4-wheel drive, so you can impress people. Or avoid them altogether. Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
They work hard, play hard, and die hard.
You got one chance, and if that doesn't work, well, enjoy the ride down.
The new series American Fighter Pilot launches March 29th.
Coming up Monday, CBS presents the birth of a new comedy. When Baby Bob opens his mouth, you won't believe what you'll hear. Catch the premiere of Baby Bob. That's Monday after The King of Queens right here on CBS. The Ducks down 4 to the Demon Deacons. 14-13 to go here in the second half. Wake basketball. Murray will toss it in for Scott. Mark Michaelis has checked into the game for Oregon. Another jump shot for Wake. Man, they are red hot from long range.
Red hot and comfortable, too, because they're not forcing shots. But, boy, are they ever getting the good looks now. And you would think one of the changes will be for the Ducks to pick them up a little bit more aggressively.
Levy knocks it down for Wake. And Jones trying to answer. Jackson is fouled. 63-56. Right now, let's check in with Dwayne Vallon. Dwayne?
A short while ago, I spoke with Coach Kent prior to the start of the second half. He said that Oregon, to sustain that run it had at the end of the first half, had to make defensive adjustments and also had to watch Wake Forest on the interior offensively. Right now, though, obviously, Wake Forest has adjusted better.
Well, Dwayne, thank you. For Ernie Kent, this season, the way it's gone for the Oregon Ducks, at 24-8, dominant home record, sweeping the Los Angeles teams, USC and UCLA. This is a confident Ducks team that doesn't feel like they get the respect level nationally.
Well, one of the adjustments was to keep it out of this guy's hands, and there's the reach-in from behind with Jones coming in. And I think what Kent wanted to do, and referencing what Dwayne was mentioning right there, don't let Sungailu get involved, but you see him cut in. You'll see from the left side here the reach-in from Jones. And don't let Scott get the basketball down low where they can operate. So what Wake Forest has done with the adjustment, yeah, maybe you're getting the balls out of his hands, but now we'll shoot the basketball from the outside, and I think that's frustrated Ernie Kent and Jones for that matter.
Third foul on Freddie Jones. And free throws for Sungailu. 64-58. Sungailu with 14 points, 8 rebounds. In that win over Pepperdine, he scored 10 of his 18 points in the final 10 minutes as Sungailu knocks down a pair.
Freddie Jones has to play careful basketball right now. He does not need over the next 4.5, 5 minutes of this basketball game. He has to avoid that fourth foul.
Jones defended by Levy. There's Jackson making his move. Tough shot and gets the roll. Wake Forest 65, Oregon 60 as we come up on the 13-minute mark of the second half. Jackson knocks it away and a turnover as Oregon comes up with a steal.
And there's one of the adjustments the Ducks have been making as Rittenauer goes deep.
Pull up top. Got it for 3.
Oh, they just keep coming back. They've had opportunities where you think, well, this team might fold the tent. That's not going to happen. Neither one of these teams are going away. We continue to just go back and forth and banging one another.
20 points for Luke Rittenauer. Baseline delivery and a jumper by Levy.
Levy's starting to give them a little lift off the bench.
6 points for Levy, the freshman from Panama City. Wake Forest leads by 4. Jones, the cutter, Michaelis can't catch it. And Sungailu clears it for Downey. Freshman, no-look feed. Little pump fake underneath. Murray can't finish it. Knocked upstairs. Here's Levy. Knocked out of his hands.
Might have gone off his leg, though, too.
It did. Oregon will take over at the 12-17 mark of the second half.
There's no argument from Skip Prosser because you know why, Ian? Guess who had the best look in the building of that play? Skip Prosser. That happened right in front of him. He saw the ball go right off the leg and out of bounds.
Anthony Lever checks in, replacing Brian Hillquist. Wake Forest still shooting it well. 57% from the field. And they lead by 4.
Keep in mind, Christopherson back on the floor for the Ducks.
There's a jumper. Loses, no. And a foul call.
Well, Johnson from behind right there, but with Christopherson on the floor for the Ducks, Johnson and he are going to try to stop the big action down low for Wake Forest.
Third foul. (67-63) Wake. Under 12 minutes to go.
Little matchup defense right now for the Ducks.
Columbia doesn't go for Downey, and it's rebounded by Christopherson.
Force the shot from the perimeter and get a hand in the face.
Ridnour, stop and go. And now we'll back it out. Oregon trailing by 4. Oregon trailing by 1. A three-pointer for Ridnour.
Well, he just gives you the impression that he's out there playing by himself. And I mean that just from the standpoint of not being fazed by anybody in this building, nor the defenders.
Levy on a kick out. Here's Dawson lining it up. Kelly for 3 and a foul.
We have touched on this before with Dawson's ability to not only free himself, but also to get his shot off in a hurry. It's bang, bang, one end of the floor. Ridnour comes down. You don't want to defend me. Wham, I'll knock one back. We go down the other side. Dawson from long range. Oh, baby, this is some pace to this game.
Craig Dawson, the senior, with a chance at a 4-point play. And he completes it. We'll step aside. Wake Forest extending the lead, 71-66.
There it is, as grand as it gets. The Masters on CBS.
Wow, that is so cool. Can he do it again?
Sure. Go get one, boy.
Okay, so where does he get him? Yeah.
I don't know. Get down!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Ooh, that's a first.
Make it a Bud Light.
The Saab 9-3. Exhilarating handling. Gripping traction control. And the addictive 205 horsepower turbo. Contact your Saab dealer for a test drive. Just don't get carried away. Right now, lease a Saab 9-3 SE 5-door starting at $269 a month for 36 months. For details, see your Saab dealer.
Yo, Terry.
What is it, Alf?
This buffet has no worms. It's uncivilized.
Well, then try something else.
Oh, hey.
Not my dollar, you overgrown throw rug.
I thought $1 had no value.
Well, it does if you dial 10-10-220.
All calls up to 20 minutes or 99 cents.
Get out of town.
Yeah, and 7 cents a minute after 20.
All right, no dollars. Got any cats?
No. Furball.
Jealous?
Dial 10-10-220.
Your duty today is personal courage.
Biggest fear is climbing down. Like a scary thing for me.
Today, Richard climbs Victory Tower. Once you get to the top, the view, breathtaking. Especially if you're terrified of heights. Log on and see if courage conquers fear. Only at GoArmy.com.
Wake Forest 71, Oregon 66 at the 11:24 mark of the second half. Number 2 seed, the Ducks in the Midwest. And the number 7 seed, the Demon Deacons. Oregon with the first-round win over Montana. Wake Forest knocked off Pepperdine 83-74. Luke Ridnour, 23 points. He is 6 of 8 from three-point territory.
Ridnour, Jones, and Jackson are the 3 guys you think about controlling tempo and doing the scoring. They are a triple so far this afternoon.
Lever had a notion. Jackson now looks down low. Keep it on the perimeter. Jackson off the dribble.
They have to get Christopherson involved. Somebody has to score down on the blocks for this team to really be successful.
Jackson lets it fly and connects for 3.
Good work on the outside by the perimeter. Without establishing yet. The only thing Ernie Kent might be thinking is we have to get something going towards the basket or establish the blocks so we don't have to live and die by the long-range shot.
The 2 Lukes have combined for 45 points and a lot of the damage from the perimeter. Here's Dawson, swings it to Danilowitz. Nice fake. foul called. Christopherson, he bit on that initial fake and then tried to close in on the young Lithuanian.
That's where Danilus will give you some problems. Watch the ball fake, then you get the big guy with his back to you, and he has no choice but to come back. He nearly gets there, and that's what his complaint is. Hey, I didn't really touch him, but you're that big at 7'2", 300. You have to kind of bump a little bit of body.
Second foul on Chris Christopherson. Free throw rims out for Danilus. Our CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Fast break points, it's all even. 24-24. Get complete tournament coverage at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. 72-69. 1 out of 2 free throws for Vitas Danilus. Lever. Looking down low, Christopherson unable to get position on Sungaila. Off the feed. Jones. Oh, he just went up high for that finish.
Well, go to the basket. Good things will happen. And Jones with the terrific finish. Little slip defensively by Wake Forest down on the perimeter, and no rotating defense. He can get off the floor in a hurry.
Freddie Jones with 18. Dawson, tough shot, and a timeout.
Well, they've been able to answer when they need to, Wake Forest also.
Craig Dawson, the senior, has 20 for Wake. That's some high flying.
On March 22nd, only he can meet his old enemy.
They're no longer top of the food chain.
Our forces are ready to fight.
You'll be taking orders from me to fight a new breed of terror. Day Walker. Wesley Snipes. Do not know who you are messing with! Blade 2. Rated R. Starts Friday, March 22nd.
Coming up Monday, an all-new Late Show with David Letterman. Don't miss Arizona Senator John McCain, musical guest, The White Stripes. And then on Tuesday, Dave welcomes Jon Stewart. It's only on CBS. Wake Forest, up by 3. Jackson feeding inside. Christopherson had it stripped away.
And Levy with the stand also front, and then Sungaila helps the double team.
Dawson, spin move, fade away. Back of the iron, rebounded by Levy, but a push. He made contact with Ridnour, and Levy has picked up his first foul. 2 fouls, all tied up at 4 and 4 for Oregon and Wake Forest here in the second half.
Even though Christopherson turned that basketball over, I like the thought process by the Ducks there to at least get something going at the basket once in a while. That usually will help outside perimeter shooters to be freed a little bit more.
You see Oregon's last lead in the first half. Right now they trail by 3. Jones hanging in the air, and he put it up off the glass. A banker for Freddie Jones, and he's got 20.
We caught a shot of Ernie Kent talking to Jones about 2 minutes ago on the sideline. Part of the message, I think, was avoid the foul situation. Now try to take over this basketball game if you can.
Downey using the Danilus screen. Feeds Danilus, straightaway jumper.
Whoa, look at this.
Followed by Sungaila. His bodies went down flying.
2 Ducks and a Deacon on the floor.
Look, that's a song, no?
I think so. Give me some music, a little background. I'm ready to go.
Jackson a 3. Rimming no, and it's rebounded weak side by Dawson. 76-73. Wait, 8.5 to go in regulation. Downey. Off for Danilus. Sungaila battling for position.
Jackson doing a pretty good job of denying the basketball to Sungaila. He wants it. Let's see if they can bring it to him this side.
Downey looks down low. Shot clock is winding down. 8:08 to go. Second half. And Wake Forest able to add to its lead with Jamal Levy. 78-73 in what has been a real entertaining one start to finish here in Sacramento.
Levy with 8 points, and it seems like each and every one of them has been an impact.
Jones.
Wow, look at Dawson's walking off the floor.
Corner jump. Jackson for 3. Dawson walked away from the play. You're absolutely right, and he's made his way to the sideline. An injury there for Dawson. And it looks very serious as they will take him to the locker room. 78-76, Wake.
Whenever you call me
cars you can depend on. The cars that last.
You never had to look too far.
Chevy. We'll be there.
Always with you.
Gina? You know, when I was first hired, we didn't have all these fancy integrated systems. Our sales program wasn't even linked with accounting. Warehouse platform in Chicago wasn't linked to anything, not even shipping. Back then, orders took days. Now they just take hours.
Wow, how long have you been working here?
A couple of months now.
When software quickly connects all your business systems, that's 1 degree of separation. That's business with .NET from Microsoft.
There's a song I want to sing. There's a bell I want to ring. I'd like to have this feeling everywhere I go. See, I've got the perfect plan, and I can tell you understand. Every place that I go, it's easier with you. I am free to express myself around the world and on Main Street. Everybody should be free. I'd like to travel on a whim and take the world for a spin. Life is for the living and making dreams come true. I am free to express myself around the world and on Main Street. I am free to live my dreams.
The teams are on the move. South Africa, baby. Stopping only for refreshments.
It's like a combination of bleach and mouthwash.
All new race Wednesday after Survivor.
Wake Forest holding on to a 2-point lead, 78-76, but an injury for the Demon Deacons, and it's Craig Dawson.
And if you watch right here, we'll take a look. Watch his left arm come up and pop all the way up to the shoulder. He had problems last year with the separated left shoulder. It looks like it may, I emphasize it may, be his problem again.
Dawson missed the NCAA tournament last season because of the injury that he suffered in the ACC tournament. Wake leading by 2. Dawson, who has really been hot, went to the locker room during that timeout. Songaila, ball movement, down it is, knocked out of bounds, and Oregon will take over. Right now, let's check in with our sideline reporter, Dwayne Vallon. Dwayne.
He's popped that shoulder out there, trying to pop it back into place now. That will determine whether or not he comes back into the game.
All right, thank you, Dwayne. Craig Dawson, such a thrill for him to be a part of the NCAA tournament this year because he missed it last season. He's a senior from Kinston, North Carolina.
Playing so well, shooting the basketball from long range, also at 5 of 8.
Oregon's been chipping away, and a foul called as Jones made his move on Levy. Levy called on his second foul with 7:02 to go, second half, and Wake Forest leading by 2. Team foul number 6 on the Demon Deacons. Here's Jones taking it to Levy again. Doesn't get the roll.
Very active move, though, once again by Jones. He's catching and going to the basket. There are times when he's not even taking his time to catch it and set. He just goes right at it.
Songaila on a kick out for Downing. Bench points, all Wake Forest. Oregon is going with its bread and butter. Levy driving, a little bit out of control. Songaila tried to keep it alive as Levy hit the deck. Here's Leeser.
I think he was anticipating a charge.
Jackson steps into a 3. Off the rim. Jammed by Jones.
Nearing the word spectacular again. The first one he had this afternoon along the baseline. The follow-up. And keep in mind, Jackson shooting that basketball from long range. He's a soft shooter that allows rebounders to rebound the basketball. What a flush.
We are tied at 78. Jones has 22. Downey, a 3. No, and Jackson with a box out underneath. 6 minutes to play here in Sacramento. Rittenauer is bumped.
Downey out front with a quick pump. Here's the soft shot. Look at how softly it comes off. Boy, it's nice to be up in the air. Take the elevator to the next floor and finish it off. A great shot right here to catch and finish. Boy, he is an active player, Jones, and Rittenauer really knows how to come back down the floor, using his body that last trip to get to the free throw line for Ernie Kent's squad.
24 points for Luke Ridnour. And it's Oregon that has gone in front by 1. We'll mention again, Craig Dawson forced to leave the game with a apparent shoulder injury. Dawson, 5 of 8 from three-point range today, 20 points overall. The 2-guard for Wake Forest. Oregon's first lead since the 11:22 mark of the first half. Jump shot, Hicks. No good! And Jones went up high to get the loose ball. And they come. Jones on the move. Ridnour doesn't go from long range.
Now with Dawson not on the floor, somebody has to knock back a long shot, but you may want to try to get the 2 big guys underneath working to one another. Here they're looking for one another. Danilus and Songaila have to get involved and start moving against this matchup defense.
Songaila has not been a big factor here in the second half.
So one of the things that's occurred right here is the Ducks have switched defenses, and it has confused Wake Forest. So what they need to do, plenty of time on the clock, set themselves up and read the situation.
7-0 run for Oregon. They can add to it off the turnover. Jones, open floor, driving. Gorgeous. He spun that one off the window.
He was looking for a seam the entire way down the floor, and all of a sudden the momentum has shifted big time.
Ducks, a 9-0 run off this finger roll.
The closer you get, the more extreme it gets. The most extreme V-twins on the planet. VTX from Honda.
Let's take a look at our tournament summary. Pac-10 5-1. That only loss, it was USC, the number 4 seed. And the highest seed eliminated in the first round. 12 seeds, just been that kind of year for them. And the ACC undefeated. Wake Forest is looking to keep it that way.
Next year I want to be a 12th seed.
Well, I can't steal Dick Enberg's thunder, but yeah, you can say, oh my, for this game so far.
They better say, oh bucket here, because they need one this trip down the floor.
Hicks swings it. Under 5 minutes to go.
This is a classic matchup right now.
Downey looking to break down the defense. Hicks with 9 to shoot. Swings it. Downey, open look. A 3 is good. Big shot for the freshman from Oxford, North Carolina.
And a very good timeout there, too, to regroup. Skip Prosser used that timeout to tell his team, look for the matchup, work it, get a little dribble, maybe a duck through, and you'll get something open.
11 points for Downey. 82-81 Oregon. Half-court set for the Ducks. 10 to shoot.
Jones wants the basketball. Good guy to have it as the shot clock winds down. Here we go.
He has been ultra confident here this afternoon. Jones driving off the front rim and rebounded by Downey.
Good collapse just then by Wake Forest. They recognize the defensive clock also.
Levy way outside. Under 4 minutes to go. Hicks makes his move. And a foul. Oregon 82, Wake Forest 81, 3:53 remaining here in regulation. Robert Johnson has just been called on his 4th foul for Oregon. And a timeout. Tight one here in Sacramento.
In 1935, Foxwood Farms started with 1 horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred, the truck a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses, but there's still only 1 truck, Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
My dad taught me how to fly it because 9 or 10, and there wasn't anything he didn't know from the ground up about airplanes. My dad said one time, everybody can be an example, but not always good, and I hope that I'm an example for these new pilots, and a good one. March 31st will be my 33rd anniversary. I wish I had another 33. My name is Larry Haynes. I'm a 747-400 captain for United Airlines.
We weren't technically a garage band since we practiced in a barn. We still make a lot of noise, only now it's on the phone.
Introducing AT&T Unlimited.
Luckily, I pay one flat rate and we talk to her horse.
$19.95 a month for unlimited long-distance calls to any AT&T residential long-distance customer. Call all you want, whenever you want, and never watch the clock.
I love them, but I'm not going to pay a lot to listen to them. Nobody ever did.
Call 1-800-REACH-OUT to enroll.
You wanted to see me?
Did you cook my steak?
Yeah.
You are
Awesome!
For a great steak,
Would you sign my belly?
head to Applebee's Steak Stampede. Eating good in the neighborhood.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Arco Arena, action from the Midwest bracket. Oregon 82, Wake Forest 81. Largest lead of the day has been 11 for the Demon Deacons. Oregon went on a run at the end of the first half to close it to within 2. And here in the second half, it's been Oregon that's been able to grab the momentum, but Wake now will not go away with 3:53 left.
Absolutely, and I thought at the half, you know, the Deacons were shooting about 55%. As you take a look at Dawson with an ice pack underneath that jersey right there, so clearly his afternoon is finished, coming out for some moral support.
Trying to get it in, Levy. Wake Forest 83, Oregon 82, 3:45 to play, second half.
Against Pepperdine the other night, Wake Forest was very efficient in the last 6 possessions of their game. Very important for them to step up, as with Oregon right now, to do the same thing.
Ridnour has 25. 28, he knocks down another tray.
Ridnour has nerves of steel, I'll tell you that much, because he's not afraid to step up and take huge shots and make them.
His 7th three-pointer. 77 of the 85 points from 3 players. The big 3, Jackson, Ridnour, and Jones.
That is just an incredible line right there.
A new career high for the sophomore Ridnour. Sungila looking to get involved. Off the back of the iron. And tracked down in the corner by Ridnour with an even 3 minutes to go.
Well, Downey has to stay on Ridnour right now. When he gets in scoring position, cannot allow him to get a jumper off.
Jackson way outside. Defended by Scott.
Small lineup on the floor for the Ducks.
Shot clock at 12. Here's Ridnour with Downey. Down to 2:35 to go in a 2-point game. Ridnour, crossover, pull off the rim and rebounded by Sungila, weak side.
Keep in mind, the Ducks have been going outside a little bit pretty often this afternoon, so we'll see if they can take it to the basket down the stretch.
Here's Downey. They have 2 point guards in there. Downey, the freshman, and Hicks, the senior, because of the injury to Dawson. Circling is Downey. Inside, Scott. Lost it on the way up.
That's a jump ball.
And possession arrow favors Oregon.
Good collapsing defense. Skip Prosser had the basketball, his team where they wanted it on the floor. In striking distance. Turnaround. Johnson puts the hand right around waist high. Ball brought right into his hands. Good work by the officials making the correct call.
Major injury problems now for Wake Forest. We told you about Dawson. Howard's not 100%. Steve Lepore is out as well. 2-point game in Sacramento.
I'd like to take a look at my investments.
Can Fidelity help me with some planning? Go through what I'm invested in, goals and so forth?
Of course. You know, now might be a good time to look at your entire portfolio.
Yeah? You can help?
Well, certainly. With Fidelity Portfolio Review, we can help you draw a complete picture.
Really?
Sure. Fidelity and non-Fidelity accounts, IRAs, 401ks, stocks, mutual funds, even the effects of taxes.
How do we start?
We'll meet in person or over the phone.
That's great. Let's get rolling.
For a free review of your portfolio, call 1-800-FIDELITY.
The Oregon Ducks looking to go on a tournament run, just like they did back in 1939. You're going to have to trust us. This is actual Ducks video. We didn't recreate this in the back here. Oregon won the national title 1939. Rear Admiral John Dick. Dwayne Ballin, our sideline reporter, had a chance to talk to him 2 days ago. Asked him what he remembered most about the championship game. He said, "We won." Jones off the back of the iron off the off-balance delivery.
After the timeout, they were clearly trying to get in Jones's hands. Trying to find some guy if they can at the Wake Forest end.
Hicks will swing it for Downey. A minute 32 left.
And matchup defense has been giving the Wake Forest Demon Deacons some problems.
Jump shot. Hicks. No good. Sungala badly. And it leaks out to Lever. Oregon taking its time. A minute 15 and counting.
Sometimes this takes you out of your rhythm at the offensive end, both teams.
Ridnour, it's been a career day. Jackson with 15 to shoot. And even 1 minute to go. Jackson makes his move. Pull-up up. Off the rim. Knocked upstairs. Sungala controls it. And he went down hard. A foul called on Jones. Sungala with his 12th board of the day to go along with 17 points.
It is accidental, but it's still a foul. Jackson with the pull-up jumper here. And you'll see Jones comes on the shoulder and then takes the feet and the knee down. Sungala appears to be okay. A tough opportunity there. Tough way to pick up your fourth. Good effort by Jones, but the correct call.
Only the 6th team foul, though, on Oregon. So Wake has to trigger in with 56.6 left on the clock. Demon Deacons down by 2. Skip Prosser wants to have a little chat with his team. Wow. This one has been fun. The ending is coming up.
Roundup's patented formula knocks out weeds in 24 hours. The leading imitator doesn't. Roundup knocks out weeds in 24 hours.
Hey, Ray, look at this. Wall-to-wall entertainment. You want entertainment, Carl? I'll give you entertainment. Look, Carl, I'm a maniac! Maniac! No argument here. Let's see their entertainment do this. Whoa, Ray, I don't want to see anything do that.
At Blockbuster, the hottest new releases are guaranteed on DVD, so you'll always find the entertainment you want.
That's it, Carl! Shake what your mama gave ya!
Make it a Blockbuster night.
Look at our game reset. Oregon leading by 2. 51 seconds left to go. You see the timeout situation. A team fouls. Possession arrow favors Wake. This is one of those games, Jim, when you sit back and watch, you figure it probably comes down to the last possession. Whoever's got the ball last is going to win this game.
It's one of those games that will come down probably to that iron. You almost want to ask for a DO, the old do-over. Can I get another shot at it to keep the game going? But keep in mind now, from a perspective of coaching strategies right here, Ernie Kent came down that very last time and had a man-to-man defense. Let's see if he stays with it. It appears he's going to. That means Sungala and Danilus have to get involved down on the blocks and with good motion away from the basketball.
Here's Downey, defended by Lever. 40 seconds left. Wake Forest down by 2. Sungala for the tie. No good. Rebounded by Johnson.
The differential now means foul. It's a 1-second differential, but you have to stop the clock.
Sungala had an opportunity to knock this one up at 85, and he has just picked up his 3rd personal foul. Free throws coming up.
I think Ernie Kent understands that he kind of dodged a little bit of a bullet with Sungala missing that, but gives some credit to his team for double teaming there at the very end. And Skip Prosser got the shot he wanted.
1-and-1 for Luke Jackson. He is 6 of 6 from the line here today. First one. Gets the roll with that soft touch.
86% shooters from the free throw line get those kind of rolls because they practice shooting the basketball. A large one right here for a two-possession basketball game.
86 to 83. Jackson, another. Count. Oregon leads by 4 with 33.1 to go. Skip Prosser's team will have the ball when we come back.
From oil changes to brakes to tune-ups, customers feel confident knowing Midas Total Car Care has their car running in top shape.
She's running great. Let's jump the bridge.
But where do you go? You go. What are you going to do? Total Car Care. Midas, we do that.
Coming up Sunday on 60 Minutes, Mike Wallace and the real Nobel Prize winner that Russell Crowe plays in the movie A Beautiful Mind. That's Sunday on 60 Minutes right here on CBS. Only 33.1 remaining on the clock. 87-83. It's Oregon in front. Wake Forest ball.
Wake Forest basketball with down 4. Plenty of time right now to go towards the basket. Don't settle for a long shot. Let's see if they go right at it.
Hicks driving, leading in. Baker, no. Follow doesn't go, but a foul call.
Good, smart basketball. If the call goes their way, which I think it will. A little question there whether it was a charge or not, but Hicks going to the basket very, very strongly. The block call against Ridnour. Good, smart basketball by Wake Forest. Plenty of time. There's an eternity when you have the basketball with 33 seconds left. Give yourself as many opportunities as you want. And Skip Prosser understands that, and he's just basically going to try to stretch this game.
Roderick Hicks, a senior from Houston. 72% on the year, and he hits on the first. His first free throw attempt of the day. 87-84.
Now make or miss, same thing.
Hicks. Friendly rim on the second of 10. And it's a 2-point game.
Now you have about 3 or 4 seconds to go for a steal right here. If you're Wake Forest, need a clean entry, good entry to a guy who can shoot free throws. Smart play for the Ducks. So they're even. Strategies are starting to even out. One for Wake Forest, one for the Ducks just then. We'll see if Jackson can continue to knock back free throws, because if you can, strategies go right out the window.
86% free throw shooter, Luke Jackson. 4th foul on Levy.
Because Wake Forest was smart the first time they had the ball, they still have time, even if he knocks back 2, to go to length of the court and go to the basket again. They don't have to settle.
Jackson. Oh, net. And he's got 28 points. 9 of 9 from the line. And another free throw coming. Jackson. Knocks it down.
He's money in the bank, isn't he? He's just so smooth. Here we go again. See if they can go to the hoop.
It's Hicks. Down to 20 seconds. Spin move. Off the arc. No good. Johnson with a rebound. And a foul called with 17.5 remaining.
That was the right type of move by Hicks just then to the basket. Defensively, though, the Ducks were much more aggressive defensively, understanding what they had to do to force Hicks to at least pull up his jump shot, and then force a little tougher shot for him.
Robert Johnson heads to the free throw line.
No, but if Wake Forest wanted a guy at the line, it would be Johnson, because he's only a 57% free throw shooter. You have to remember to block out right here. Big time shots for Johnson.
Johnson 1 out of 2 from the line here today. No good on the first attempt. And Wake Forest still alive, just barely. 17.5 remaining.
Big shot here, big block out for Wake Forest. You have to anticipate a miss.
Second free throw for Johnson. He hits. 90-85. Wake Forest running out of time. Dribbled it off his foot. Hicks lost it. And a foul called with 11.1. Oregon Duck fans celebrating here at Arco Arena.
They've been through a lot of wars, both teams. Wake Forest and the ACC. Skip Prosser's team, a valiant effort here today, going after it. The Ducks, Severny Kento, strong when they needed to be.
Anthony Lever at the line. Oregon has been so good at the strike. Now 21 of 23.
Oh, but put it away.
Lever hits the ball. Ducks extend their lead. Under 10 seconds to go. Hicks gets it across. 5 seconds left. Hicks driving. Jumper doesn't go. Some guy banks it through with a fraction of a second remaining. 92-87. Sungaila with 19, and Skip Prosser takes a timeout. 4/10 of a second left. here in Sacramento. For the first time since 1960, the Oregon Ducks are headed to the Sweet 16. 92-87. Oregon over Wake Forest. And they're moving on in the Midwest bracket. That's going to do it from here as Oregon comes up with a victory. What a strong second half, and their big three just stepped forward with Ridnour, Jackson, and Jones. Let's send it to New York. Greg Gumbel, take over.